Hey man, that is a sick shirt. You're one of my people, I can see.
Yeah, to be honest, it's just bought it like every Star Wars. Yes, yeah. Yeah, I mean, my studio is just full. Just Lego, Star Wars. It's just like, yeah, the force is strong in this room. Let's say,
mate. My son, because we're a big nerdy family. My son,
yeah,
he's 7. He is obsessed with Lego Star Wars right now. Everything is Lego Star Wars. And he's like, his birthday's coming up, and he's like going through the catalogs, going, "I want the Death Star." And you're like, bro, that's like over $1,000. It's like, uh, as much as I'd like.
yeah. I have the problem with my. The good thing is now, since we have our little son, I'm not buying that much toys for me, so I just buy for him. But it was like, hey, please stop buying Lego shit. Then I was in contact with one of the biggest Lego YouTubers in Germany, and of course when we met, he just yeah, gave me, hey, you have this set already? No, take it. I have so many of them, and I came home with hey wife, look what I got. And she was like, what the fuck, where shall you bring all that stuff? I already had so many Lego Star Wars stuff brought to my music schools because I said, uh, colleagues, sorry, but I'm not allowed to build it anymore at home, so we have to place it there. So there is the Falcon and all this, and all the big sets are in the schools because the room here is full already. So yeah, but hey, being nerdy and Star Wars nerdy is
it's
a good thing.
That's what it's about. You know what I'm going to do after this? I'm going to watch the new episode of Ahsoka.
I did it yesterday.
No spoilers.
No.
Last one was pretty. It was pretty
Sure.
good. You know what I'm saying? Like the, the old Anakin popping back. We're gonna wait and find out what happens. But I'm pretty keen. I'm enjoying it. But of course, man, thanks for joining us on the show. We're here to talk about you, not Star Wars, as much as man. I'll get to that later. When you're in Brisbane, we'll have a beer and we'll talk Star Wars for ages.
Yeah, we've been there. It was in just in 2 months, maybe.
Yeah, you're gonna be here, man. I know, but I've got that in there in the questions. But first of all, First things first is of course the new Serenity album, Nemesis AD, is out on October 27, and I've heard it, and it's a great record, man. It's still a little while off to go until it's released. How are you feeling about it? People are starting to get a little sneaky peek.
Yeah, I mean, we feel pretty excited. I mean, the thing is, like I've said already in other interviews about that, I think it's the first Serenity album in my career of Serenity. I have to say, I wouldn't change anything. It's really, I listened to it weeks. I usually do a break after we have finished, and then I don't want to listen to the songs anymore because I listen to them every day here in the studio and work with them. And then 2-3 weeks after that, I start listening again, and in the line, of course, which we have selected for the record, and I felt like, fuck, I have to say it's really maybe, and also talked to George and was like, do you think maybe it's the best Serenity album ever? And he said, yeah, I have to say yes, it is. It is funny wise, because usually you don't tell that things. Usually you have always something to criticize, like, oh, this song we could have done better, or there we could have done anything else. And this record we did better, and there, but I don't know why, but we made it somehow that we feel like, wow, what the fuck have we done? Sorry to tell, but it's really cool. We're really proud of that. We are really, really proud of it.
Man, you should be, because I know as a musician myself, I listen to back to takes, and people go, it's fine. And I'm like, no, I can hear this one little thing, and it'll drive you nuts forever. So for you to say that you're happy with it, man, that's important. But everyone else is going to love it, man. Like I was listening to it on the way to work. I was listening on the way to cattle decapitation the other night. I was, I've been listening to it a lot, man, and I really, really like it. And the concept for this one draws inspiration from the life and highly influential art of painter. Now, how do you pronounce his name? Because my Australian ruins everything.
Albrecht Dürer.
Albrecht Dürer.
Dürer.
Man,
Dürer.
Man, see, this is what you'll find when you come down here, that everything sounds backwards when it's like a record going backwards out of Australian.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I'm trying. But mate, it's of course, what inspired to tackle this one this time? What did George come to you guys with the idea, and what was that?
I mean, usually, like, and like you said already, as George, as the professor of history,
Yes.
historical things, he is. He's always giving, let's say, the idea which decade or whatever we shall keep in focus for the next record. And I mean, Albrecht Dürer he was born 40 kilometers away from my place here, because Nuremberg is that close to my place. And of course, he is in German speaking or German based art history, or general in Europe, one of the biggest ones ever. And we try to select those cool persons where we can write a story about, let's say, because like in Codex Atlanticus of Leonardo da Vinci, like Richard Lionheart, there are so many documentaries. There's so many things brought in books that could be took place at that time, but no one knows exactly. So all those things, but they had super interesting, of course, lives. And like Richard, how many movies were made about Richard Lionheart? I mean, that, of course, it's an interesting person. And also Albrecht Dürer, I mean, at least the praying hand picture is so not at least because of this prison tattoo artist who
Yes.
who did first these praying hands, but in general, it's one of the most famous paintings all over the world. And I think no one knows, beside out of Germany, knows that much about Albrecht Dürer. He is famous, but not that. But his pictures are perfect for writing an album about, because at least half of his pictures are somehow somehow are influenced by the Bible, by religious things of the Christian religion. And in at least this apocalypse pictures, the horseman of the apocalypse and all the things, we put just 4 or 5 pictures out of this collection, because it's so great to write a song and lyrics about that. And that's the thing why we have chosen him, because it's interesting. His life, to be honest, we just put in one song. It's Reflections, because he did some of his self paintings to show to the people how he was developing himself, how he which steps he did. So I was thinking about writing lyrics where he's sitting on a table and looking at all his steps he made through the last 10 or 20 years. And I think that's always cool to do such a song. I did it also, the lyrics for Leonardo da Vinci on this record, also Richard Lionheart, because in every movie you have this, I think. You have always this moment, this 1 minute or 2 minutes where the main actor is thinking about some of his life elements, or the main how it's called, the main things happening in his life. And that's why we did this. But all the other things are inspired by his paintings, and that was great to write a record about.
Has he got any living relatives over there? And if he does, did you guys consult?
I have to check out, to be honest.
Like
I think it could be that it's. I have to read, and maybe, of course, it's a good idea. Maybe when the record is out, we will send them a copy, especially of this of the collector's box, in which we have put some of the artwork repainted by this great Portuguese artwork company, Credo. And because what they did, how they reinvent his paintings is awesome. But I think that, of course, somehow you can find relatives, because if you can follow his, but I don't know if they are really related to him, or to, I think he got a sister or brother. I can't remember. No, he a lot. I think he was one of 11 or 10. That's
a lot of research to do. So,
so there should be blood-wise, there should be relatives, but let's see.
Man, that's super interesting. If you do that, you have to film it. because
Yes.
obviously, that bloodline, you hear about, people who are related to very famous historical figures in the world. You know what I mean? I think to give them that and let them find the connection through the album that's super interesting to me. I think that's
Yeah,
super
it would
cool,
be.
man.
I will keep it on the list. I will find out, and if it's possible, if they are relatives of Albrecht Dürer, we definitely have to do that. And I think it's a cool thing in general, just to go there and say, hey guys, we did a worldwide released metal album just about your yeah, grand uncle or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's funny. Yes, cool idea. Thanks, mate.
That's all right. That's all right. I just think that would be interesting, especially for the band and
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
yeah. Yeah. See, I have one good idea in a week. But of course, Dr. George, I should say, seems like he'd be pretty fun to be around with, with his knowledge of history. Does he drop just facts on you guys all the time about history, randomly? Is there anything you go, really want to know about this?
Yeah, I mean, he's working in that. Of course, when we are on tour, he's the first one willing to visit a castle or something. I mean, he's not into every area of history. So he has, of course, I think his main part is Tyrolean, Central European history in a I don't know, from 10,000 after Christ to whatever. But I don't know exactly. So he doesn't know anything. But of course, he is the most historical addicted guy of us. But he's not all the day running around and say, "Hey, let's write about this." And do you think about that? And the funny thing is that also the lyrics are 70%, I would say, on each record is done by me. So
Yes.
I'm then there. I got the idea, and then I'm sitting there and trying to watch documentaries, read things, listen to podcasts about the person we are writing about, to get to dive deep into the things got known, because he would have to do the same, because otherwise, like I said, I mean, he knows Albrecht Dürer. Of course, he knows more, maybe general wise, than me. But all these die hard and deep facts, I don't know if he knows them better than me. But then we try to combine and try to bring it into stories. And I think imagination wise, I'm a little bit better than him, so I can create a story about, I don't know, the end of Babylon, or about Albrecht Dürer sitting on a table and thinking about his life. So that's sometimes more my part of the game.
I might have to get you to help me write a song about what I'm trying to write at the moment. I'm a bit stuck.
Yeah.
And it's
Tell me,
something
I
I'd love
will, I
to
will,
do.
I will, I will create you something.
All right,
No
all
worries.
right. I'm halfway through writing it, and I'm just like, oh man, I've backed myself into a corner with this one, and starting again. So I'll see how I go.
I mean, the good thing is in music, lyric writing is, let's say, you need to not to just to fiction something, or fictionate something about just a person. So you can, what I do all the time is trying to think also that you find things people can identify also today. So because if I
Yeah.
would just write, I don't know, it's sometimes when I listen to the lyrics of Sabaton, for example, of course it's historical wise correct, but I don't sit there and think or find myself identified with a battle of, I don't know, the First World War at somewhere. If it's just die hard facts about this situation. But if I think about, hey, let's write a sentence or a part of the song, because for example, let's just stay in the example of reflections. If you sit there and thinking about what would you see your life, and which are typical sentences you would say, hey, I could identify myself with this person. So you need something to identify. It's not that it has to be 100% historical, right? Because I want to catch also the people from today, and not just let them sit there and say, oh, that's correct. he was really sitting there, Albrecht Dürer, and thinking maybe this, because when you can read it in an article of the, I don't know, Museum of Arts in wherever. This is something I don't want to keep in mind. I always try to mix it up so you can listen and say, oh, this is a strong sentence. This is something really I feel. This is something really I could think about and do my own fiction of it, because that makes, I think, the listeners more getting interested into it than just comparing truth.
Man, I gotta say, the song Reflections, I believe it's called, on there. That's my favorite one. Like, I don't know, everyone's
the musical.
Song, sorry?
The musical.
Man, it's incredible. That it gives me goosebumps, dude. Like every time I listen to it, I keep going back on, oh, it's this one. And like the hair standing on the back of man from the not just the music, the vocal delivery as well. It's a fucking incredibly written, well, like song, man.
Thank you. Yeah, we
do you feel that? Do you feel that it's
yeah? I mean, the song was done by Marco and Georg. To be honest, I was just a bit part of it, just guitars and solo parts, and the lyrics, of course. The lyrics are done by me, but absolutely. I mean, it's a French word, the homage to Avantasia and Meatloaf, of course, because it's when you work with such a pet, the mastermind besides Toby Summit of Avantasia, it had to happen once like this, that we will do a song exactly like Reflection, but still in a level that no one will tell, I can listen Avantasia and yes, I can listen Meatloaf, but it's not that they just copy paste one of their songs. It's a typical Serenity song, just with elements of course, bands. The songwriters in this case, Marco and George, are really big fans of, and I love it to do dedication elements or even a song to that. I mean, the funny thing is, I don't know if you have seen it already. I was, for example, a big fan all the time of the anime One Piece, and now Netflix did the real thing of it. And in German there is a different title song than every else in the. I think they did an own one just in Germany, but at the time we were writing Codex Atlanticus, and the song "Follow Me," I was watching One Piece so often that I put this clean guitar, which is exactly in the theme of One Piece, into "Follow Me," for example, because I want to dedicate this element, because I was such a big fan, or even I am still of this anime. I want to put it into a song, and if you can do that as a musician, but just keep your style, just not copy, but keep your style, that's a cool thing, and that's why I think Reflection will turn out, besides Ritter, Tod und Teufel and some other songs, as one of the most successful songs of this record, of course.
Absolute bangers, mate. So good. It's such a, as I said, like as a whole, it's such a phenomenal album. I love it. But did you make it all the way through all 1,000 episodes of One Piece?
No, I started now again, because I think I stopped when they've been somewhere in the sky worlds then, and then I don't know, someone it's like this anime series, once you have to stop, or you stop automatically, because it's getting too much, and then there's something new, more interesting coming, and you just say, oh, let's stop now this and maybe go on someone else. It took me years to finish, for example, Clone Wars, because even this is so long and so big that it took me really years to have the mood to really continue. I think months to watch Clone Wars. So
it's an effort. A dude at my work, he finished all of it.
Yeah, I did.
Not Clone Wars, One Piece. He made it through all of I don't know. He's like, I did it. It's still going. It just blows me away. I don't know how he does it, but mate, of course, touring. Let's talk about some touring. You're heading to Japan very soon. That's going to be pretty damn cool. Before you hit Australia, or after, is it?
Yeah, I will be with Beyond the Black in November. We will be in New Zealand and Australia, and Tokyo will be in December. I don't know if I attend Tokyo, to be honest, because the problem is I am more than 3 weeks in Australia, and as I have a family and another job, uh, yeah, I have to always see. That's why we integrated Marco as a fixed member, because it's with two bands and one of them is Beyond the Black. Besides
Yeah.
Serenity, it's a little bit getting harder and harder to be everywhere at the same time, due to the fact we still have to recover. Let's say kind of two bad years in the world happening we
Yes.
all knew about, and of course somehow we restarted both bands like every band 2 years ago, and now we have to see how it's getting bigger, and of course somehow we have to live about that. And as better it's getting, as less I have to teach students, and then I have more time to tour. But of course, if I will make it happen, I will return to Tokyo and to Japan in general. I had the pleasure already to play there with Beyond the Black years ago at the Loud Park Festival, and it's always a great thing. But first of all, of course, I'm excited to first time ever visit Australia and New Zealand. So that's really bucket list thing.
Man, I know it's a different band than what we're talking about, but I'm excited to see you play in person in general, dude. Like, first down in Australia, it's a long way to go, obviously, but we'll make it worth your while, man. We'll go pretty hard. I tell you.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, of course, and I hope it won't be the last one. I mean, it's a cool thing to come first in this festival package because we can reach people. I think it makes for us as a band way easier to get in touch with more people than just coming alone there and just trying it in small clubs, and let's see what we can do. So it's a big advantage. We are really proud and happy to use, of course, also in New Zealand. I mean, that's my I will visit Hobbiton. I'm just waiting for the confirmation, because exactly when I be there, there is the famous Hobbiton Beer Festival. It will take place exactly before we start the tour, and I'm already in contact with them, I'm on the wait list and hope that the New Zealand guys will be nice to me. I told them already, hey guys, it's the first time I'm on tour. I just have this one day free, so please make it possible, because I want to drink the Red Dragon. The Red Dragon, my Hobbit beer, and let's let's cross fingers. But in general, I'm looking forward, and hope to see you then in Brisbane, right?
Yeah, Brisbane, man, which is an hour that way. So I'm on the Gold Coast. Have you ever heard of the Gold Coast?
So you got your tickets already?
Yeah, I'm gonna be covering it for this thing. It's gonna be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I saw it. I was like, wait a minute. It's gonna be very cool, man. But it sounds like not just that, you've got a phenomenal year starting next year. Like you're also doing the 70,000 tons of metal cruise, which is a dream of mine to go on. Have you done that before?
No, the bad thing was that exactly when we did it before Serenity, we did it once, but it crossed with a tour. We've been on tour with Epica and Powerwolf Beyond the Black that time. So I was with Beyond the Black on tour, but this time I will be free, and of course I will make it to the 70,000 tons of metal, because I never played it and I want to, and looks always great and of general I love to travel to the US, to Florida as well, and then February headline tour for Nemesis. In April, then again on the road with Beyond the Black, and so busy 224.
But that's a good thing after what we've been through. I guess you need.
Yeah, sure. I mean, of course, that's the fun fact about human beings is always that no matter what's happening, you always find something you can a little bit argue about, because of course now everything is working great again. but the problem is, of course, in my case, let's say it's like I said, it's a family, so I always have to do this, because I haven't built a house in these 2 years. I haven't become married and haven't become a father to be more away than before now. So it's completely the difference. I have to see what can I make and what it's okay for me and my family, because I don't want to be the puppy who is just my father, my son would just know from a FaceTime a picture. That's nothing I can stand with myself. So that's a bit of a hard fight, because of course if I just read a tour schedule from November to May, this is, I think, if you would tell to anyone who's not not in my situation, or even not like me, almost 15 years in this business, when you say, you're starting in Australia, and then you are in Japan, then you're in the US, then you are on two big European tours, and then the festival season is just starting in Europe. It's something, wow. But the problem is, of course, if you are a father, and if you are take it serious to being a family member, you have to see what's possible. And then it's sometimes happening, like I said, that I have to say, sorry guys, please, Marco, you have to do it alone when we are both together. That was the idea. Of course, he was already helping us with songwriting, because he and George, they are working, because me and George, we're working, of course, pretty good together. That's why we are releasing since years now great records. But in the taste of music, we're completely different. So I'm more modern music, more modern metal. I listen to every kind of music, from anime soundtracks to Hans Zimmer, from metalcore to I don't know, to Billie Eilish, to everything. And he is more, I think, more this old school metal, Angra, Avantasia, first Camelot parts, like Marco. And they are more this. So of course they have a more let's say one line of view of writing music. So they're fitting very fast together in this. And my job then, and the whole thing is, besides writing my own songs like Ritter, Tod und Teufel and all those ideas, is to combine it in the music, in one to bring it to one sound. And then we have Sasha, who is of course trying to fix all those problems you don't hear because you're too much stuck in your point of view. And then we have a new orchestration guy. We're really happy to work with Daniele Mazza, who was in now this album in Nemesis AD, the first time working with us, trying to bring all the ideas I already brought to him in orchestration to the final really cool orchestration sound. And that's perfect, because then that's the, let's say, the what's called not worship work, the flow, let's say, we have, or the line, how we work. So this is I collect the ideas, then I bring them to riffs, because sometimes I just get a chorus, or I just got, I don't know, a verse, or which is great, and then, hey Chris, let's bring it to the Serenity sound, and then I prepare the whole song. Then it's going to Sacha. He tells this and this part. Let's maybe write or change the chords, or let's, I don't know, transpose there, or let's the tempo, keep it 5 BPM more or less, or whatever. Then I do it again, and then we have a meeting, and then that's it. So
it's quite complicated, but the results are there, and it's pretty fucking phenomenal, my friend.
Thank you.
But mate, have you got another one coming through? Did you have another interview coming through?
No, I have lunch break now.
Oh, of course. Yeah, well, you gotta have your lunch. See, it's like lunchtime for you, but it's Friday night for me. So I'm
yeah, I know.
I'm gonna get my pajamas on and watch the soccer.
Do that.
I just didn't want you. You know, you had other ones coming through, but brother, I do have to say I'm very, very keen to see you in Brisbane with and just have a beer and catch up. Of course, talk some Star Wars. You know,
yes,
my boy will be like, oh man, you know, he could talk your ear off about Star Wars more than what I could. But you know, chip off the old block. You got to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is. But in the meantime, though, we'll have all the links down here and on the website to Nemesis AD. Brother, it's been really, really cool hanging out with you, man. And I'll see you very soon.
Thank you. Yeah.